We are just gonna wait. It's on YouTube. Sweet. Hopefully they're tuning in on YouTube. I only told them Facebook, so we'll see if anyone's on YouTube today. I'll wait for my thumbs up for my team that we're going live online. And we got the green light. Woo! Or technically in my case, the red light. All right, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa. I'm back and ready to kick off 2024 with you all and some fun Anita collection overviews. Now, I want to wait a minute to let some more people hop onto the live because it's a new year. Everyone's got to get into a new routine again. And our schedule was a little all over the place for December while people were in and out of the office. So we're going to try to be going live every Thursday around 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you miss the live at 2, let's say you hop on at 5 or 6 in the evening, as long as it's the same calendar day, you guys can still use the flash promo code that you'll see in the video later. I'll mention that in a little bit, but if you hop on at a different point, you can still use the promo code, and it's valid till midnight tonight. So we'll be rewarding you if you tune in, but hopefully we have some people hopping on. If you are watching live, pop into the comment section. Martha. Say hi. I see Martha's on. Hi, Martha. We love having you join us. If you're on YouTube, definitely let us know. I only mentioned Facebook in the email, so if anyone's watching on YouTube and happen to click on the live, let us know so that we know if you're seeing us. But next week we'll also be streaming to both platforms. So whether you like Facebook or YouTube or both, you can kind of catch us there. Now to go over what we're going to talk about today for the live, obviously it's a new year, and so we had some time to reflect on what we did last year and the collections that were big hits with everyone. And we kind of wanted to do a year in review. So while we're working behind the scenes to get the new stuff prepped for 2024, our machines are running and we're ready. But I thought it'd be a great time to show off what you all thought were some of the best collections of last year based on sales, based on customer stitch outs. So we do see you all on our Facebook fan page and posting the projects that you guys have stitched. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of go over some of the collections I've seen everyone working on and submitting their finished project photos, as well as what we just saw was some of the best sellers of the year.
Lynn from Southern California says hi.
Lynn from California, hi. So excited you could join us from the West Coast. Again, if you're popping on, say hi. I have Catherine behind the scenes. She'll shout out your comments and give a little hello so that I know you're watching. Also in the comments, let us know what you're stitching for 2024, or if you see anything that I show today that you want to stitch, tell us what it is. So I pulled a collection, a variety of collections that cover all the different techniques, different styles, from quilting to tile seam to embroidery, and some projects. So what I want to do with you all today is kind of go from the beginning of last year towards December, and based on the numbers that we pulled, these are some of the things that sold really well or got you guys talking. And I thought it'd be cool to kind of go over them again and maybe spark that memory, or some people might not have seen those that came out last year.
We have Patty from Colorado.
Patty from Colorado, thank you for joining, Patty. I love hearing you guys come onto the live.
Sherry Smith from Kentucky.
Sherry in Kentucky. Kentucky, that's one place I've never been. I need to go there for something. But I've not had an event there, and I've not traveled there myself. So hello in Kentucky. All right, we're going to go ahead and kick it off. Keep commenting, and Catherine will throw
Dominican
a like.
Republic.
Dominican Republic, cool. All right, so Catherine can throw a like on that, let you guys know that she sees that you are tuning in. But if you have questions as I go through, definitely drop them, and I will answer your questions if I see them come up. So basically, we're going to start out at the beginning of the year and go through some of those releases. The first one I wanted to show off, I'm going to show you guys the pack cover for everything. So if you are looking for it on our website, you can kind of see what that is. This first one came out in January. This is our Friendship Quilt Special Edition. Now, this special edition is so sweet, and it's more than just a quilt. So a lot of times our special editions or premium collections, they have more than just quilt blocks or embroidery designs, but the sample I broke out was the quilt. So Friendship Quilt obviously is the theme of friends. We have beautiful typographic sayings in here, things like, because of you, I laugh a little harder, cry a little less, and smile a lot more. So this quilt is just wholehearted, very sweet. I saw lots of people making it to gift to their lifelong friend, a fellow crafting friend, through thick and thin. We got different age groups represented with the applique women on here. Lots of diversity.
Leo from the Netherlands. Netherlands.
Leo from the Netherlands. I love that. I love hearing you guys tune in from all over the place.
Alabama, United Kingdom.
Thank you guys.
Maryland, Missouri, Rhode Island.
All right. We're good with the call outs for places.
Sounds
so
good.
I see you all tuning in. I'm very excited. Hopefully we have a good amount of people on now. Again, I'm going over best of 2023 if you just hopped on. And we're going to start from the beginning of the year and go through. So I'm not stitching anything live today, but wanted to show you some of our favorites. So we do have this friendship quilt. Again, really pretty applique, lots of bright colors. And don't forget, as I go through these, you can run these in any color that you want. Now I'm going to flip to the detail camera so you guys can kind of see some of that as well. Super pretty. We have that nice quilting stippling in the background. So almost every Anita collection, if we do quilt blocks in the hoop, we have those quilting stitches put in there over the batting and the base fabric, so you get that quilted machine look without having to send your beautiful hard-worked quilt out anywhere else. So very cute. We have different applique fabrics. We stuck with lots of solids. Again, some very pretty sayings on these. Now, the other projects included in the collection, if I show you guys that pack cover again, we had 33 design isolations included in the set, so a lot of the women and the girls that you see and some of the floral elements as well. The sayings are also isolated separately, and we include a printed fabric tutorial showing you how to take like a picture of you and a friend and merge it onto printed fabric, print that out, and then use that printed fabric in the block to kind of frame a picture of you and a friend. So very fun. This one had a lot of involved project stuff in it that was not hard to follow along with. Great beginner quilt if you've not done one. So that was January. We also have a February collection, very pretty. I can't tell you a time lace has not been a hit with people at Anita, so if you love lace like we do, these are for sure a big hit. We sold a good amount of these, and I saw a lot of people stitching them themselves. These are our lace jewelry bowls. Collection looks like this. Very pretty. We had a fun photo shoot with this one, y'all. It looks great sitting on a mirror. That's my advice for you, is set those on a glass mirror dish or on top of books. Things like watches, you can take those off, set them in the basket, your rings. This is very handy by where car keys are in the morning when you're leaving or coming home from work and you need little things by the door. Excellent way that you can kind of stash those. Now, harder to see, so I'll pull up the phone camera, but all of the designs in the lace are different. I have no idea if I'm upside down or not. That looks right, so we're going to go with this direction. So as you look at them, you'll see that we have a square and a rectangular version. Some of our samples didn't get finished, so don't mind that. But they get tacked at their corners like so, and that's what helps them stay upright. So you can kind of see this one is finished, and it won't come out. But they have two versions of each one in the different sizes and those different lace patterns. So you get like a variety of options here, very pretty edges. Again, our samples have been in storage, so ignore the stray threads, y'all. But very pretty, and they look great. You can also give these as bridal gifts, housewarming gifts, just so many cute ways you could use those. So that would be our lace jewelry bowl collection from February. I'm just gonna make a pile on the floor as I go through these. Now, biggest talked about tile scene for a while. I only have one of them on me, but we released our Exodus special edition collection. That one came out in February, so start of last year. This is one of the 2 tile scenes included in the finished collection. So we got both scenes hand digitized by our team. This was done over weeks and weeks, possibly months for the actual digitizing, so we did not rush this. It came out really beautiful. Obviously, there's detail, like people have more detail in the front and then they go off into the distance. We have lots of beautiful landscape scenery in here of the mountains, the sky, and of course we have this scene as well as the parting of the Red Sea. So the 10 Commandments and the Red Sea are the 2 features in Exodus, and they are done with standard applique and embroidery. Now I'm going to show this up close so you can kind of see why these were so talked about. And real quick, I'll give you that pack cover here so you can kind of see that. But specially digitized in both, there's both scenes that you can kind of see mocked up on display. So if you had space to show both, they look beautiful facing one another. And each one is done in 9 rectangular quilt blocks. So you do need a hoop that can accommodate, I believe, 6 by 10 and up. Don't quote me, it could be bigger than that. But I'm pretty sure it's 6 by 10. And we have all the different foreground scenes and details. And of course, you can see all the rich embroidery in here. I know you all love to see up close, so I'm sorry if my hands are shaking. try to give you some of those embroidered details so you can kind of see, even from far away, it just looks very painterly, very professionally done. So you can make this at home. So this one was released with that other set. If you buy Exodus, you get both special edition tile scenes in one release. So very cool if you're into those. Now, I don't have the sample with me, so I'm going to show it off on the pack cover here. But Nursery Classics, we don't have the stitch out. I cannot find it, and I'm mad because this was truly one of the best quilting collections. Other way, let's see. There we go. She's telling me, Melissa, you're silly. You have the phone backwards. There we go. I'll look for the words session in the corner. That'll help me know. So Nursery Classics, I wanted to show off at least the pack cover and just like the style of it. This was the cutest quilting collection. Obviously quilting and standard applique were the techniques in this with that embroidery over top. Now we did base fabric was light blue felt. So this was super fun and tactile for kids just because the felt makes it feel a little more plush to touch. It makes a cool wall hanging or even like a play mat. But if you'll notice, it's all the kids, like nursery rhymes classics. So Baba Black Sheep, this little piggy, Old MacDonald, and then Hey Diddle Diddle. So there was 4 different ones presented in this, and you get a set of 3 blocks to tell each story, and they kind of go together like this. But you can also make runners or little like wall hangings of just 1, 2. So I show that in the tutorial as well. But very cute. I apologize we don't have the sample here, but I wanted to make sure you guys saw that. This one was a bestseller on quilting for last year, so lots of people wanted to make it for kiddos. So very cute Nursery Classics. Be sure to check that one out. Next up, I have see-through bookmarks. I had to pull in some fun projects, but I think you guys really liked these. Now, vinyl always gets everyone excited, but these did pretty well when we looked up project sales. For last year's designs, and so the concept of these is they are completely see-through. So very fun. They do require winding matching bobbins for all your step colors. So if you'll notice, we didn't get too color crazy on this. We picked maybe a purple, a pink, 2 shades of green, and then our contrast stitch. In this one we have orange, a yellow gold, and then this nice pinky red and a hot pink outline. And so we basically used the same colors among all 3 bookmarks and just swapped them around to kind of give that cool, bright color effect. But you don't need that many threads to make these, and they are very pretty as gifts or for book lovers in your life. So to show you those up close, I have the pack cover here. So you can kind of see how cool that is when you hold it up against a book.
Did you mention the matching bobbins?
Yes, I did. We did mention matching bobbins. Catherine wanted to make sure because she knows she stitched them. So our graphics team can tell you firsthand. Don't forget your matching bobbins. So this is the front side of the bookmark, if you can kind of tell the stitches are on top. And then if I flip it over, this is the bobbin side. Now the vinyl covers this. So if I scratch here, I'm just getting vinyl. You're not getting all the bobbin. But since you can see it, that is why you would want to switch your bobbin to matching. So we just took those plastic bobbin cases that we have, the empty ones from our preloaded bobbins. We wind a matching color, and then you can finish your satin stitch nice and neat that way. And we do these on tearaway. Now, all of our tutorials come with instructions for techniques like this kind of stuff, so we don't expect you to know. But if you are doing those see-through bookmarks, we use a tearaway stabilizer, and it basically cuts a window out where the bookmark goes, and you leave the stabilizer everywhere else. And so it's kind of like a hole in your hoop. And when it satin stitches, it then perforates this piece out and you have a finished bookmark without the stabilizer in the middle. So a very cool concept. If you're new to playing with vinyl, this is a great, easy project to try. And they're great to keep for yourself or to gift to someone. Now I'm laughing because I went through our collections with our art director and the list is going to be the top 20. So if you're watching live, here's an insider little tidbit for you. Today we do have a flash sale promo going, so I'm going to go ahead and give that to you guys now since you've tuned in and kind of hung out with me for a bit. But we have a new 35, that's the code, is new 35, for 35% off all the collections to kick off the new year, the 20 that I show. So there's the 20 collections that we picked were our top sellers. Now I'm laughing because there were 2 extras that I pulled that I thought everyone would just love. And we couldn't kick off any off the list. So the insider tidbit for you is that tomorrow when the sale goes live, there will be 22 collections instead of 20. And you can shop all of those 22 for that discounted price. Now, if you tuned in to today's live, we're doing the 35% off through midnight. That starts the sale early for you, but it basically applies to anything in your cart. Tomorrow is when the actual best of sale will start, and those 22 collections will be linked through the homepage banner and our emails. So be sure to keep a lookout for those if you want to shop all the ones that I'm mentioning today. But the one I'm about to show you, word keychains, was one of the 21, the extra one that we threw in there. These are super fun, and I wanted to keep it on the list for best of because I kept seeing them in the Fanatics page. So if you're on Facebook and follow our I Need a Good Design Fanatics group, that's where people post a lot of their stitch outs for us to see. And I keep seeing these word keychains. So they're really cute and fun, and I know I set them down somewhere. And of course, this is the one collection I told Haley that I was like, I don't need these. So I might not have the sample on me, but I can, Catherine has them. Yes, she saves the day. So thank you, Catherine. So our word keychains, I'll pull up the phone camera once I get some of these out for you guys and kind of show them off. But they're really cute, quick in the hoop projects. These make, again, great gifts or good for yourself. If you are like me, I tend to set things down and forget where I put them. So the little keychain is a great way to clip to your keys. They have marking stitches on them where these X's are for the little button rivets. And you can just get a snap kit, very simple at most craft stores. And let's see if I can do that one-handed and show you guys the little snaps in there. So we just have like the threaded snap pieces. You use a little tool. It usually includes the tool if you buy a kit. And then we got some keychain hardware. But word keychains is the collection. Super cute and crafty. You can kind of see them there on the Laura's keys. So we showed them off. And then they have lots of different sayings and colors here. You can change up the stitching. And obviously we used a fun faux leather vinyl. You could use glitter vinyl. You could use all kinds of different things. Twill. They do have a raw edge, so keep that in mind, which is why we use something that doesn't fray. But very cute. So those are the word keychains. I wanted to make sure I threw those in there. So not a part of the official 20, but they were just so fun that I figure if you guys liked them enough to show them off, we got to include them on the list. So something nice to kick off the new year with. Everyone loves easy projects, right? Next up, I have American Wild. Now, this is a really cool special edition, or actually it was a bundle. Do we have a question, Catherine?
I was going to say, Betty Ludwig made the moose from American Wild on a denim jacket.
Yes, so I was just about to say, if you've seen American Wild last year, we did the sample on a denim jacket, which I actually have a picture of right here. And guess what, you guys? That's Catherine rocking the jacket. So she's behind the scenes, but there's our graphics person. So we love having our own team model sometimes. But this is the denim jacket that we stitched with the wolf design on it. Now, American Wild is a bundled set, and then the cool thing is you can also buy it individually. So I wanted to show off some of these animals. So all of our samples we ran on felt other than the jacket. So we have run it on fabric, but just for you to see the stitch quality. And when we did our tests, we do them on felt and tearaway. But I wanted to show you just a few of these to see why they were such a big hit. The animal digitizing is just gorgeous. Now, we came with different versions. There was 8 animals with incredible attention to detail. Lots of layers of embroidery over hidden applique. So this is the one we ended up doing on the jacket. We had a lot of wolf fans out there that are Anita people. So very pretty. I'm trying to keep the focus. There we go. Can see those nice stitches. And it's hard to tell, but there is applique fabric there. So you can kind of see the light tan behind his face. So that is what the embroidery basically does, is cover it all. So you can't really see it, but it'll help the density and keep it from feeling too crunchy on garments. We also had a really cool bison. You'll notice we did different types of background colors. We did realistic as well as like color versions of them. So this was the purple one. And again, even though there's lots of shades of brown in this bison, you can see all the dimension in the shading. So definitely follow along with the colors that we did. And if you don't have the same brand, you can convert them or find something similar so that you don't lose all this really pretty detail. And last one, got a bear here. Very cool. So wanted you guys to see him. Nice stitching. We have a question?
For the keychain, someone, Tam's Crafts and More is asking, will leather work with the keychains?
Yes. Okay, so Tam's Crafting, they wanted to know if we can use leather for those word cloud keychains. You can use leather. I would definitely try to use something a little more sturdy and not a soft leather or like suede, because things can sink into that. Also use a leather needle. And my personal preference, just because I'm anxious, I would test it first, but also find topper. Because if you can pull the topper away and you put topper over the leather, the stitches won't sink in or ruin the leather too much. but definitely get the right needle if you're going to switch materials. We did ours on the faux vinyl leather material or cork even. Cork fabric is awesome. And those don't require any fear of fraying. But I've not tried them on leather, but since we did it on faux leather, I'm going to say yes. Just follow all your proper things like needle care. That's a great question. So if you guys have more questions like that as you see something, you're like, what could I do with that? Let me know and I'll answer it. We're getting close to halfway through the list, just so you guys know where we're at. We're in June now. So in June, we released this big monstrous quilt that I'm about to hold up. And it's so cool, but it's going to cover me. And you guys have to see it in its scale to really understand. But the Star Spangled Banner, now this one I'll show you a little closer so you can see it up in the room, kind of mocked up there over a couch. This quilt is huge. Now the fun thing for me was when we were working with our seamstress to put this together, we laid all the blocks out on the floor, and I have a cell phone picture of me like laying on the floor next to it to be like, Mom, look, to scale, because she wouldn't believe me of how huge this is. So this is our A size. It does come in multiple sizes, and we stitched I lost my sticky note. We stitched the A size. I'm going to just stand and hold this up. I really think you guys need to see how cool this is. It is very easy to do because all of it is block by block in small rectangle sections. And I'm holding it upside down. That's offensive. We don't want to do that. There we go, the right way. So if you can see, part of me at least, you can see this is like full wingspan, huge and beautiful. This is the nicest quilt collection if you are a proud American and want to show off something cool in your home. In our tutorial, we show more than one way of how to present this. Obviously, you can hang it normal direction. There are alternative instructions if you want to hang the flag vertically, like a banner, for the proper way to display a flag. But I wanted to take the photo and show you guys the detail on this quilt. Now, this is why this one was such a huge hit. So many people love American flag things, quilts that look like flags. So again, there's a nice detail shot to show you just like what it looks like hanging over the seam. And you can kind of see where the blocks are divided up. So we have one rectangle here and here. So the whole blue section is just made with 2 rows. And then all the red and white are in also long chunks. So it's one whole block is a rectangular piece. And you just follow our folded fabric instructions. We do walk you guys through that. And then the others are standard embroidery just on top of different folded fabrics. So there are like 5 or so fabrics in each block that are folded over, and then all the embroidery is added over top. Now the secret to this quilt is obviously texture and different fabric colors. So we have some suede in here, ivory, this is even a terry cloth like towel, some fun sweater material, fat quarter bundle fabric. So basically a mix of anything you had on hand, we scrap collected and then decided to use that in this quilt to really give it that patchwork look. And that's truly like the whole Americana vibe, isn't it? To have like a patchwork of everything.
Catherine made every block.
Catherine made every block. She's back there like, don't forget to tell them. Graphics works hard here too, but she sat there and stitched them all so she can tell you firsthand. It takes a little bit, but the finished result is well worth it. This is a good one if you find with monotonous things like folded fabric. Just sit, zone out, fold them over, and finish each block. You do maybe 7 blocks a week, and you'll finish it in a couple weeks. So it's not too terrible to take on if you set a goal for yourself and kind of work on a certain number throughout the day, week, or year, however fast you want to finish it. So that would be Star Spangled Banner from June. Another one I don't have a sample for, I'll show off up here. I'll go to my side camera for you, is our Ocean Toile collection. Now this one was beautiful. This is one of the extra bonus collections Carol and I decided to include. So this is number 22 out of the 20 of the best. So I didn't have this towel, but I just know how many people in Australia there are, our Florida loving ladies, anyone by the ocean or the beach. They always love tropical things. And we feature so much just Christmas and things like that. So I really wanted to kind of show off that we do other stuff. So I'll kind of, actually I'm going to go to side camera, Haley, because I know that one's closer. But I'll give you guys some looks of the designs included in that. Since I don't have the sample, it's not just the fish on the towel, which is the cover sample that we did. But we have things like jellyfish, a beautiful sea turtle. And the reason I wanted to show these is I feel like they get lost on the website, because if you don't click on the towel sample picture for the collection, you might not know it has all these other critters in there. So again, there's the really pretty fish. I believe these are Sergeant Major fish. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but my parents live in Florida, so I've seen those before. And very pretty like bell jellyfish. And you'll notice the toile element is all the pretty florals. So it's not often you see sea critters and floral designs combined. This one's gorgeous with the dolphins jumping over the flowers. So very pretty. That one was deserving to be on the list, so we included it as an extra one. Just all the beach lovers out there. I know you don't always love Christmas, so we had to throw something different on the list. How's everyone doing? I hope you guys are still excited, tuned in. Remember, we have that that promo code for you guys to use that is only good till midnight tonight. So 35% off with the code NEW35. I'm just going to remind you guys throughout the live session. Next up I have, I'm sorry it's like all over the place, but I have so many things to show you. Next up we have Seasonal Door Decor Bundle. Now this one is super cute. We have multiple different characters. There are 5 of them. Now the thing is, the bundle is going to be on the sale. Individually, they will not. So if you want them, get them while they're on sale with that 35% off. The sale starts for everyone tomorrow on the top 20. But today, if you've tuned in, you get that 35% off on your whole order. So you can get anything that's on this list plus other stuff. But I really thought the bundle deserved to be the one on the list because they're all so cute. So why just buy one season when you can get them all? But to give you a quick overview of them, we have the kitty with 4th of July. We have a St. Patrick's Day leprechaun. This adorable little penguin. Look at him. And I see a question. What's up, Catherine? What are they?
Cynthia asked what fabric you recommend for the danglers. I said twill, but I wanted to see what else you had to recommend.
Yes, for the danglers, the fabric we use the most would be twill, so that's an excellent answer. The other things we did, like his sweater here, is actually flannel material, or we'll use fat quarter cottons. But for the actual animals, and if you want to see the back, it's never that interesting, but the backs of them, you can tell we do just use twill fabric. So a poly twill is what we're usually using here. So that's a great question for construction. But these are those cute little danglers. So after we have the little winter penguin, the other one we have is an angel. She fell apart, so I won't pull her out. But I say they fall apart because, as you can see, they're held together with buttons, and some of our samples didn't get all sewn together. So I do have this one here assembled for you guys to see. So cute. They wiggle. A fun tip for you if you make the danglers is that you can pose them and then use clear thread to tack spots together. So if I wanted his hand up, you could just tack it in the back to where you want to pose them. So you can give them little shapes or make them dance and do different things throughout the year and then just pop the stitch out and change it. So there's a fun presentation tip for you guys on those. But again, that bundle will be included in the Best of 2023, so you can get all of them for 35% off. And if you don't like all of them, shop today and you can pick 1 or 2 of them and still get them for that deal. So very cute. Those are seasonal door danglers. I have to make sure I call them the right name. Next up, I do have the sample of this one, Botanical Aviary. Now, this one was really cool. I actually ended up doing a live with everyone on this. So if you tuned into that live, you might recognize it. But this, we did a feature on fussy cutting. So this collection's a really pretty bird and floral themed quilt. We have tons of people that love birds, so I wasn't surprised when this popped up on like the bestseller list of the year. And also things with pretty folded fabric borders. Now, if I take the phone and show you guys a close-up of this one, the birds actually kind of pop out over their frames. So we did some really cool layering effects here with the leaves and the tails. So you can kind of see how they look like they're popping out over their frame. Now, to create the pretty framing effect, we alternated our borders, so blue-green and then pink-orange, and then we checkerboarded that style. The technique I went live with a while ago when we did this and it first came out was fussy cutting. So fussy cutting is featuring a certain section of your fabric as a focal point. So in all of these designs, the background is just stippled with white, so you guys can kind of see that there. And the real beauty is what fabric you put behind it, because otherwise it'd just be a bird on a white square. So now if you're picturing that, you're like, oh, I see. The fabric is what makes it. Now we didn't specify the fabric that we used because by the time this is out and you guys try to buy it, it's most likely not available anymore. I might have mentioned it in the tutorial, and if not, don't fret. You can just look up watercolor florals or tropical flowers. And find something similar, but basically we chose sections of the white space around the birds to really feature the pops of flowers on the fabric. So that's a little quick insider tidbit for you on fussy cutting. A shout out to that other video I did, and just a really pretty wall quilt. The front cover photo looks like this. and we showed it displayed over a desk, and I really think that would just make me so happy to work every day. See, very pretty birds. So very cute. I love how cheerful it is. And then if you're interested in seeing that fabric that we used, we backed the back of it with it. So you can kind of see all the different florals. There's like a little chickadee bird hidden in there as well. So you can make the backs of your quilts interesting too. We're getting close, y'all. I'm almost done. We're on to Americana Homestead. Now this special edition released, I want to say September or August. So like early fall into fall, but I'm missing the date. I checked online and I don't think we put the date. Yes, we have a question.
About Botanical aviary?
Yes, this one.
How many birds are included total?
This one has, I believe, 12 birds. Let me double check if it mentioned 10 different birds stitched out. So we got asked on comments how many birds are included. 10 different birds, and I want to say, was one of them repeated on here? That might have been it, or maybe it's 9. That's why I'm silly. It's 2 o'clock on Thursday, and I can't count. There are 9 blocks in this quilt, so one bird is not shown, but there are 10 different ones. So very cute and very pretty if you love those botanical bird things. To go back to Americana Homestead. So this one is our special edition. Like I said, I can't quote the date for sure, but I want to say August or September, somewhere in that range. This one I helped work on. It was super fun because the scene is just so visually interesting. You could hang this up and have people walk by it and they'll just keep looking like an I Spy to see what all is in the scene. But the name speaks for itself. Americana Homestead, it's a little classic idyllic homestead scene. We got the little horse and buggy going with the American flag on it. Obviously the kitty with the barn quilts hanging on the line. So, or just quilts, I guess, because they're not on the barn. There's the barn quilts. I know we have people who love barn quilts. So some of the buildings featured that as well. Beautiful lighthouse and water scene. Now I'll show you guys some of this up close. But this collection was super cute. Here's the front for you to kind of see. 15 blocks are the full scene. They are square blocks. And the fun thing is that 22 elements throughout the whole scene were isolated and are standalone files for embroidery. So you can actually take some of these things and stitch them on other projects, like let's say you want to put the cows on the edge of a towel in your kitchen. You can do that. We also have little sailboats. I know the hot air balloons are separate files, and we show a tutorial of stitching them onto felt, cutting close, and then putting magnets on the back. So then you have embroidered magnets that kind of match the quilt if you had it hung up in a similar space. Another cool thing I wanted to shout out on this is the difference in textures and like fabric types. So our sky is denim, not something not everyone thinks of, or people don't always think of that, I should say. We got some grunge fabrics in here, some linen in the mountains. Again, solid cottons are throughout. You'll notice a few color errors. That's on us. We fixed those before we finished the final one. But that is just like a little peek for you to see. And then down in the ground, we had burlap. And fun tip for you, if you ever do burlap as an applique, put a piece of brown or tan fabric behind it. So then you don't have to worry about batting coming through the holes or anything like that. And again, cute cottons just down here. There are differences in stitches too. So we have blanket stitch, which features like a raw edge on the cotton. And then we have satin stitches as well. So kind of different textures, different styles in here. Again, there's some crazy edges and raw edge on the walkway. Those are intentional. Before someone reaches out and says, Martha, they didn't get a satin stitch here. We know. That was the style of it. But again, very cool. I love all the different elements. There's a little chicken with the blanket stitch body. So very pretty and rustic kind of themed quilt for you guys. That one was Americana Homestead. One that got everyone talking around the office for sure was the artwork for Autumn Woods. Now this tile scene came out in September, so it's a little more recent. As we get towards the end here, you're going to be like, oh, I remember seeing that recently. This was a part of 2 different artwork pieces that we got from our in-house artist, Ginny. We did this beautiful scene of the woods and the trees, and then later, which I think it didn't end up on our list because it just sold, so it wasn't a top seller yet, was the winter church tile scene. This one was out longer, so obviously the sales were higher. So we picked this one because of who doesn't love fall, very beautiful foliage or foliage. You can leave it up all season long. I said it's been a long day, you guys. But very pretty artwork here. Again, I'll show you that detail up close. But this is one of those scenes where we have that hidden applique technique. And the deer are really just the highlight of the show, along with the mottled tree leaves. So we have applique in between the leaves, and then we did like this nice leaf texture to kind of make them look like the trees from far away, which I thought was just a really cool digitizing effect. And they even added some blue in there to make it look like the light coming through the trees. So very fun. We have that beautiful like shading on the tree trunks like birch trees do. So instead of just brown, you get all that really cool texture in here. We have a little log cabin that's made with some applique as well. And the windows look like they're simply glowing with that yellow thread. So very pretty detailed scene. Again, look at all the leaf embroidery, the tree embroidery. And this is rectangular 9-block quilt or tile scene. Like I said, they are sold separately, but the artwork was submitted at the same time. So they have the same kind of detail, and you'll notice both scenes had deer featured in them. So a little side note that I don't think everyone knows yet, Anita. But very pretty. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys some of that full-scale scene. So Autumn Woods, beautiful tile scene. And if you're looking to stitch it for the fall, what better time than to buy it now and give yourself many months to get through it and not have to rush.
Patty loves the geese.
The geese, yes, Patty likes the geese at the top. You know, I'm biased too because in North Carolina we see them all the time as they migrate back and forth, so I like the geese too. This one did sell well, but I'll be honest, I put it on the list because it was just too cool, and we hadn't done anything like this kind of theme, and it did sell well for quilting collections, but who just doesn't think this is awesome? I would have wanted this as a kid. I know other teens who think this is cool. This is our monster truck quilt. So I'll show you guys the pack cover there so you can kind of get an idea. Now this one is awesome because not only is it a quilting collection, but we include 8 isolations there. So you can see on the front cover, we mentioned that. But basically the style of the blocks in this quilt vary in 3 different ways. So we have a block with the full truck feature here. We have a profile, like front shot of the truck, and then we have these little mini motifs. Now each row, you'll notice, has that style block repeated in a different order. And we used a really cool fat quarter bundle set of just stripes and polka dot fabric. Super simple patterns, kind of small patterns, and then plain fabric so that it wouldn't get too overwhelming here. But notice it's not all blue or orange or green. We threw in pink too because girls can like trucks and somebody can come tell me otherwise. But this one was awesome. Boy or girl, no matter your age, if you're 5 or 15 or 50, you probably think this is a cool quilt. We just hadn't done anything kind of fun and realistic trucks like that. So this one got lots of little ones, I think, excited. So I'm not surprised that did well. Very cool. Monster trucks. Every time I read the collection, you guys, I just wanted to say it like that. Yes, we have a question.
Cynthia wants to know, are these designs from 365 collections?
Cynthia wants to know if they're 365. They were. If you were 365, I believe you got a lot of these as drops. Some of the larger ones might not have been included and you got a discount on them. So double check. If you are currently still a 365 member, you can go through each month online and double check what the releases were. If they're on that list, they were released to 365 members. I also want to say that it tells you on the product page. If you click on it, it'll say Anita 365 if it was a design in the set. So I don't remember all of them. Was it the monster truck one she was asking specifically about?
Are these designs?
I think most of them are, but some of the larger ones, like the special editions, they were not.
The Autumn Woods, yeah.
Yeah, Autumn Woods I don't think was. The Americana Homestead I don't think was. So it depends, so don't quote us on that. But again, if you need to check, there is a link on the website for current 365 people that can kind of go through and see if they got that one or not. And if you were 365, it should be in your customer account as a download link, so you can check.
365 Club question. Do you want to wait till the end?
Yes, let's open questions at the end because I can probably answer them, so we will do our best. So if you have a question, let us know, and I'll try to answer them. And if we don't know, I will be honest and tell you I'll get the answer for you. I don't have a sample of this one, so I'll show you a quick photo of it and we'll just breeze through this one. But this one sold well, and I saw people on our Fanatics page stitching these little circle bags. They are so cute. We put candy kisses inside of them. But this was great for the holiday season. You could put gift cards in these. You could give them away to people with like USB drives in them if they're other fellow embroiderers. So lots of ways you could kind of use these little pouches, or heck, you could use them as coin purses for Christmas season. So cute. They also are fully lined, and we don't have a great shot of the lining here since I don't have the sample, but we did pick some of the fabrics that are on the fronts and like repeat them on the inside. And all of those include the instructions for how to do that. I have a few more. We're in the month of November, so we're getting close. Now, I'll be honest, the rest of the pile is pretty much all November, September. There's a September. That was Autumn Woods. We had a lot of good ones in November, and I didn't notice till after I pulled them and wrote down the release months, and I said, oh, these were all in the same month. So a lot of these did well. This one was our gnome growth chart. Now, if you've been with Anita for a bit, you know we've done growth charts for children. We have done an ocean one, a barnyard one, I'm trying to think of the other ones, a jungle character one, and a woodland critter. And that's 2 different sets. So we had Measure Me Growth Chart is the first one, and then Here We Grow Again was the second version. Both of those include 2 different styles in them. So the first one had the ocean critters and the woodland characters. The second one had the jungle and the barnyard. And now we have a new one that is going to be on this sale, which is our baby gnome chart. And this is just so cute. Now, obviously, it's nice and tall. They are to scale. So we include ruler blocks here. We have both the imperial and the metric ruler system for you to choose from. So whatever your preference is, depending your location, you might like one system better than the other. I'm an inches girl because I don't know my other metric systems very well. So we picked that one here, but obviously you can change out the ruler section, and then there's the square blocks. They also, all the different growth charts include a blank header block where you can type out or merge in a child's name. You could put their age or weight or birth things if you want to document that at the top, and then you can kind of measure their growth as they age. Now, fun tip for you guys, because I always love telling customers great ways to use this. They're like, well, how do I mark my child's growth? We've done everything from safety pins with bows on them to sewing on actual buttons that mark that child's year. And you can kind of keep them on there, or you can take one pin and like move it throughout the time across it, roll it up, and then you could gift it to another child later if you didn't sew anything on it. Or you could keep track of all the little ones in one family with different buttons and so on. So lots of cute ways to show baby gnome growth chart. Not surprised that did well because we had so much popularity with the other ones. Stained Glass Christmas, that was also pretty popular. This one just released in November. I also am biased to this. It's just so cute. Anytime we do stained glass, we always get oohs and ahs, and people always say it looks stunning when it's finished, and it's so easy to do. If you are not a fan of cutting, I know this can look intimidating, but I want you to know a lot of the lines are just faux lines stitched, and the sections are not too bad. They're all about, the smallest one is probably that big. So curved tip embroidery scissors will be your best friend for any applique trimming. But I have seen other people mention using digitizing programs or embroidery software to pull out the applique step into a cutting machine. So if you're savvy enough to know how to do that, you could save yourself the cutting. It did not come with those files. But when we did it in-house, it was not too terrible to trim and cut out. And the finished result was so fun. So the secret to this one is truly your fabric that you pick. I took a trip to Hobby Lobby when we picked this collection, and I did the fabric shopping, and can tell you they had a great selection of these washed batik fabrics. So if I show you that up close, you can kind of see the texture of those. The fabric has that washed look to it, the color dye looking like it bled a little bit. A few of them had some patterns, some batik patterns on them, but for the most part, we tried to just do the nice like washed color look. And what that does with the faux lead caning that this is what they call it, it creates that paneled stained glass effect. And so the differences in fabrics make it look like light is kind of shining through. A tip from our art director was to keep the fabrics light. Don't go too dark. That way it looks like it's nice and cheerful and not too dreary. But very fun one. Yes, we have a question.
Karen would like to know if we will ever offer SVG files for cutting out fabric applique.
Karen wants to know about SVG cutting files. Now, that's a great question. I will tell you, Karen, we have done it with one collection, and it was another stained glass quilt collection. So if you look up stained glass quilt on our website, there is another one that pops up. That collection did include SVG cut files with it. I don't think there was enough demand for the SVG cut files that we didn't end up doing it again later. And we had to break out the scan and cut and test it multiple times to make sure they cut correctly for you guys. So we have not revisited that idea, but feel free to let Martha know or email us if you're interested in stuff like that. And if we get enough demand, maybe we'll bring that back. But at the time being, it does not include cut files. But that is a great question. So we have one that did do the cutting for you. All right, I got like a couple more, not that many. Yeah, we have like 4 more to go over. Real quick, I want to interject as a recap for what we're doing today. So if you tuned in a little bit late, you kind of know. We are offering an awesome deal today if you tuned into the live. 35% off your entire purchase today if you use the code NEW35. And I picked new because it's a new year. 35 for 35% off. That will go until midnight tonight, and then it's no longer eligible. But then tomorrow starts the actual sale. So today's video was the best of 2023. We picked 20 collections, secretly 22. If you've watched the video, you know. But those will be going live. The banner on our homepage that goes up tomorrow, you will be able to click on it, and it will take you to the predetermined list of 22 collections. But if you're shopping with the promo code today, you can shop anything on the website with that code. So as long as it applies in cart, it should work fine, and you can pick different things. So just want to make sure I told you guys that. Winter church tile scene. Oh, I know where it is. It's hanging up right next to me. So real quick, I'll show you the pack cover of that one. But this one just released as well for November. And this is the one I was talking about that goes with the autumn woods. I totally overlooked it, but that's because it's right here. So it's right next to me. So again, I'll get up and kind of not trip and show you guys some of the detail here. We have a shadow casting in from this plant. So if you see the mottled light on it, that would be the outside that you're seeing. But lots of beautiful stitch detail. So just like autumn woods, it has that hidden applique technique in it. And you can kind of see how we have like the 2 sets of deer again. So another homage to the little deer in each scene. And very pretty effect with that landscape background. Or it's not really landscape technique, but the style of how it runs through the scene is very pretty. So we got snow. We used like a nice fluffy fleece here. So instead of just white cotton, that is fleece, you could also use felt for a similar effect. And then our sky was silk dupioni. So again, trying to break out from your usual fabrics. It's really fun to buy different materials and see the finished effect on quilts. So that one was our winter church tile scene. So very pretty special edition from November. Now again, a lot of these were from November and I didn't choose that. October, November. Yeah, there, one was out of order. We cannot forget this awesome one.
Oh.
Yeah, Catherine saw me break out this bad boy. So this is our Advent Christmas or Advent calendar quilt. I always say Advent Christmas, and I get the name wrong, but this one is so cute, you guys. It took a lot of hard work from all teams involved, so we're biased at Anita for liking this one. But it is the 25 Days of Christmas countdown. Now, the coolest thing about this quilt is, obviously, it's got pockets. So it is a true Advent calendar. We did the A size here. It does have other sizes available, so you can scale it a little bit smaller if you want it to hang like in an eating nook or a breakfast area or over dining space, and then it not take up as much real estate. But we always test our A size so we can see how things look at this size. So very pretty. I'll show you some of that up close so you can see. And I have, again, that awesome sunlight coming through the window. It's making everything sparkly. So I can kind of show you guys here. Again, we used unique fabrics. We have fun with our fabrics. So all of the background block base fabric is this sparkly linen. There it is. I was like, it's kind of hard to see the sparkle. But it's an off-white or like a cream colored linen, and you can see we have our quilt stitches in there that are included. Pops of metallic thread in the stars. And the way these blocks are done is you stitch the pocket first, and then you stitch the main block, and there's a step where it will line up and tack the pocket directly on. Now, it didn't include any borders, so because of that, we went ahead and added this rickrack in here. Actually, it did include borders. I lied to you. It's not in the sample, so it totally threw me off. There are borders. There they are. I don't have the stitched out ones, but they have like holly leaves and branches, and then the squaring block is a little snowflake. And then we also have horizontal, and it's the trees. So there are borders included to help kind of space things out bigger if you want the quilt to be bigger in size. But for our sample, since we did do the A size block, we wanted to go ahead and use this fun little ribbon divider to kind of window seam it up. But each day has a different character or scene going on. The number is written somewhere in the block so that you know what day you're on. And then you have the cute little pocket that you can stick things in. Now we've tested, you can put candy in here. Obviously gift cards fit easily. Little tiny knickknacks. Obviously for 25 days, you're not going to put 25 gift cards. So little things like candy, small little pop, those little pop things that kids are obsessed with now, those silicone things. So little fun toys and knickknacks you can get at the dollar store. You can kind of put stuff in there. So it's like when kids used to do the chocolate advent calendar. Well, now you can put some other goodies in there and just have a really cool interactive quilt that they can break out every year. So that one is the advent quilt. Do we have a question?
We have two.
Yes.
This one is Patty wondering if we ever test out C and D sizes.
Patty wants to know if we test C and D. Yes, if we are worried about density or if the digitizing shrinks and we're not sure how it will look at that size, we usually always test those. I want to say we did run a smaller size in one block of this at the time, but we just committed to the big one so that we can get all of it done in time for you guys to have them. So a lot of times we stitch just the A, but the software can tell us if it's going to have issues and needs density adjustments in certain areas. So before we do those resizes, we always make adjustments if needed to get things to scale down. So unless there is an issue and a digitizer says, hey, can you test this for me? We usually don't run into any issues and have not had many complaints. But that's a great question.
And the other was, do these design collections recommend fabrics to use with the instructions?
Do the collections recommend fabrics to use with the collections? Not always. So anything prior to a couple years ago, we had a materials page in pretty much every release, but you'll notice we stopped doing that as often because most of the times when we tag the collection of fabric, by the time we finished it on our end and it's out, you might not be able to buy that fabric anymore. So what we tend to do is take a photo of the notions or materials we used. You'll see like an overview of the Fat Quarter bundle, and I can't say I know them all because once we cut up the fabric is gone. But truly the point is that you use what you have or you can buy something similar. I've had to look up fabric collections that we've done something in, and I had to just keyword search. So I'd be like flowers, birds, orange fabric, and find stuff like that. So if you're looking for something in particular and you are like dead set on it, let Martha or us know in the comments, and maybe we can look up the fabric and try to find it for you. But a lot of times it's a hodgepodge of what we have on hand at Anita. We will definitely do a peek into our fabric room when it gets cleaned up better this year. But you'll see that a lot of our fabrics are kept in bundles as sets, and then the rest is organized by color. So let's say we did a bunch of animals, we'd pull an inspiration, but then we'll start using whatever browns, tans, and different colors we have on hand. So it's not always a set fabric bundle, but if we know it and we know it looks well, we will include that information for you if it will be available. So good question.
And if it's like a strange one, we'll usually call it out.
Yeah, if it's like something really unique or like a specialty material that you have to use, we'll definitely tell you. Like for vinyl gauges, we say what gauge we're using. We tend to tell you what types of tearaway to use. But when it comes to fabrics like this one, we didn't find a brand. I would just tell you to look up Sparkle Linen and then pick one based on preference. And as always, we love supporting local dealers and fabric shops. So check with them and tell them what you're looking for, and they might be able to help you find it with a picture. Great questions. I don't have the samples, but I had to show these because we all love pets, right? And I'm biased because this is my baby, and now you all will know. This kitty is my kitty. That's Melissa's kitty, Indy. So she's our little cover model for this one. But these were our all-occasion pet bandanas. We had several people purchase these and like stitch them out and send in some samples. I've had Indy obviously model this one, as well as she's on social modeling the Thanksgiving one that says, "More turkey, please." But they are pet approved, super cute pet bandanas for different occasions. So we had Christmas, Halloween, 4th of July. There's others included as well. I want to say there's 12? Maybe less than that. Might be like 9 or 10. I don't have a count for you. But very cute. They're multiple seasons. That's why they were all occasion. And you'll notice there is a dog and a cat version of each season. So there's a dog version of Halloween and a cat version. Dog and cat Christmas. And then you can see the 2 Americana 4th of July ones there. So very cute. And we kind of give you something for all the different occasions that aren't just the basic holidays, but something you'd want to dress your pooch or kitty in. And she's just so cute. So definitely shop those pet bandanas, but I did not have a sample of that one for today. And then last but not least, before I open it up to questions, You guys went nuts when these dropped recently, so they had to go on the list. This is our Festive figure ornaments. Now, these were just so cute. We got so many great compliments on them. I have already submitted to our art director that we need to make more things like this. Maybe not even Christmas, and just do like birthday or Mother's Day or other fun themes. But they have tiny scenes embroidered in them. Now, I do have samples to show off for these. Thankfully, I located them because they're so cute. We had 5, I believe is the count. 3, 4, 5. Yes, we had 5 different characters here. They are freestanding and finished off with a little string to hang them from, or in this case, our little sparkly rickrack ribbon. And what we did for our colorway is all of them are stitched on white felt, and you'll see that they have white felt as their back fabric. You can change that. You can make it a different color. You can put cotton fabric here with a pattern. Or you can be real smart and embroider like Merry Christmas 2024 and names on it, and then use that as the back material. So fun inspiration for you guys on how you could use these to make them your own. But we have such pretty designs in here. Of course, we have baby Jesus in the manger. We have the snowman and the ice skating scene with the parents. He's got a little cardinal in his hand. Of course, the classic scene of Santa and the tree with the presents. And we've got a little sleeping kitty by the fireplace. And this also had a limited color palette. So we stitched all of these using colors from each other in each design. So we didn't have that many. We have some reds and some light and dark versions of each color, but you'll notice the blue felt was used throughout in different spots, stuff like that. So I just thought I'd point that out to you guys, see that you can do it without a ton of different thread colors, but very pretty. We got so many compliments on these saying we need more of these, and so many people bought them as soon as they dropped to stitch them for the holidays. So I think that contributed to them being on the bestseller list, but definitely a good one I don't want you guys to miss out on. So be sure to look them up. I hope you guys liked this run through. Before we go, I want to run through that information one more time for you guys. I have it all here. If you tuned in today to the live, I will open it up to questions real quick. But we wanted to make sure you guys know that we have a 35% off promo code that is starting today, and it's good till midnight, and that will be code NEW35. That gets you 35% off your entire order. And then tomorrow the sale opens up to everyone. We'll be doing 35% off the top 20 collections of 2023. And there's 2 bonuses that'll pop up on the page for you. So 22 collections of the year that we thought you guys really loved, and the numbers looked great. So hopefully you guys enjoyed stitching some of these this year. Do we have any questions, Catherine, that I might be able to answer?
A couple. A quick one is there going to be a list of these best of 2023?
Yes. So we got asked, is there going to be a list of these? Tomorrow's email will include a link with the banner that talks about the sale, and our homepage banner will be up. And when you click on that, it will take you to the URL direct page that has these collections listed. So you won't have to go hunt and find them. They'll be directed to you. So you just have a nice page you can shop on. But they will be listed there for you. So that's a good one.
Is 365 coming back?
We're getting asked about 365. We are transitioning it out. So if you are a current 365 member, do not fear. You are still in your membership. We are honoring them through the year. I believe I was told it's till the summer even is when we have people still signed up. So if you have specific questions, let us know. Email us if you do. But the 365 current people will keep going. They'll still be getting the benefits that they were promised. But after the last one finishes, we have chosen to dissolve that and switch to the Anita discount card. Now, if you've heard about the discount card, you know it's $99.95 for 1 whole year. So whenever you purchase it, it starts your membership and you are good till the next year at that same time. And that gives you tons of different benefits. The biggest one I want to mention is all of our discount card holders get an additional 10% off every sale. So if something tomorrow, the sale goes live, it's 35%. If you're a discount card holder, you get 45% off. So that's something to keep in mind. So when we do website sales that are 50% off, you're getting an extra 10% every single time just for being a member. On top of that, there's things like 30% off education and pre-order sales. So when we put stuff up that's not out yet and everyone's wanting it, you can get it for an even cheaper pre-order price. And the pre-order is usually already on a sale. So definitely look into the discount card if you are not a 365 member and wanted to know what the deal about that is. But you'll notice it's starting to leave the website just for signing up, because we're going to close the signups. But the people who have it still are good to keep their membership. It'll still be giving you all your drops and all your perks. So have no fear. And stay tuned for more information on that, for sure. Anything else?
Do my downloads stay forever, or will they disappear if you delete them? Oh, delete the pattern.
Delete them. So, okay. Will your downloads stay in your account? The answer should be yes. Now, if something's missing that you know is missing, let us know. We're working out some kinks still on the back end. Like, for example, I think the guitar drops, we had to make sure that those are going back to customers that got the discount card in December. So if you see something missing that you were supposed to have, let us know because we can check your order history and make sure you have it. But we have been looking at that and closing any gaps there. If you purchased and you are, let's say, a discount card member for the year, or let's say you're 365 and you got all the collections for a month, once you have them, they should stay in your customer account. That should be the way it works out. The only thing that doesn't stay in the account is education courses, and those stay there for 6 months. Then they disappear because otherwise your customer account page would just keep getting pushed down farther and farther with purchases. So if you don't know what I mean, don't worry. But basically, education is the only thing you have to worry about disappearing, and all you have to do is download the files. It literally prompts you to download them in education courses, so you can't go through it without getting the files. But anything like, let's say you bought Festive figure ornaments and you will no longer have a membership and you're worried about losing it, it should stay in your customer account. So just check under your account history or order purchases and they should pop up.
What is a good email for contacting us?
Good email.
Shows or?
Oh, is it Martha at? It's Martha at. Martha, I'm calling you out by name. Martha is our go-to now for customer experience. We've streamlined our inbox, and I had to think about it for a second because it's been on all our emails lately. We have updated our phone number and our email contact to be Martha because she is absolutely wonderful and answers all of your questions, and she's so patient, even when she shouldn't be sometimes. So be nice to Martha. We love her. But if you have questions, you can email Martha at anita-gooddesign.com. And she can redirect the question to anyone else if she's unable to answer it. But for the most part, she is our expert, so she will be happy to help you. Any other questions before we sign off?
Is the discount card digital?
That is an excellent question. Is the Anita discount card digital? I want to say as of today, yes, you can get it digitally. I want to say Carol just let me know that she switched a variant product for that. So now when you go to the discount card, you can choose to purchase the physical card. We do have to charge shipping for that at this time. So if you don't care about having the card with you physically, we can do it digitally. Same exact membership, just one order, you pay for getting the card in the mail. If you want to have that physical reminder and scan it every time, that option is available for you. But otherwise, there should be a choice to choose digital version, and it'll just give it to you in your customer account. And you'll get all those benefits for the 1-year membership that you signed up. So great question. If you have any others about the collections I featured or any of the questions that were brought up, shoot them in the comment section and we'll go through later today or tomorrow and kind of answer back to anything that was not answered. But final reminders for you guys, today's flash sale promo was NEW35 is the code for 35% off, good till tonight. And then tomorrow we'll kick off our 35% off for the top 20 of 2023. So I hope you guys enjoyed this yearly recap, and we look forward to bringing you so many more new designs in the coming months. So stay tuned.